Alright, hello everyone and welcome to WWE Discussion. I'm your host and WWE Tuesdays, Doug. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing NXT September 19th, 2023 edition. And on this episode of NXT, Becky Lynch would make her first appearance since winning the NXT Women's Championship last week, kicking off an action-packed episode of NXT. It was a Champions Night. Carmelo Hayes and Dirty Dom Mysterio would compete in a non-title clash. The show would also feature the final matches of the Global Heritage Invitational, with Tyler Bate and Butch renewing their rivalry. The women's breakout tournament was close to returning, and Lola Vice hoped to prove her worth other by challenging a former winner of the breakout tournament, Roxanne Perez, and she did just that. She lost, but she looked good. This was on the beginning of a night with big stakes as No Mercy approached, and with that we're going to get right into the action, starting with the opening segment where Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton agree to a rematch at No Mercy. So NXT is leading into the time that it has with Lynch, which who knows how long that will be. She's working every week and pushing her competition to step up to her. The center of the universe showed her continued inconsistency on the mic and got called out by Becky Ford, but she did not lose her confidence. Seemingly, it is surprising that NXT is already pushing for a rematch between the two, but it should make for a great match. What was not great also was just the promo talking. Becky Lynch went on a rhyming thing, and while it was clever, creative, it wasn't great. So props for the creativity, but probably could have gone without it. Probably could have just done a backstage segment instead. Global Heritage Invitational, Butch versus Tyler Bate, and while Butch and Bate have had better matches, the one thing is for certain, they have a consistent quality, or they keep a consistent quality with their matches, and it's been so long since these two have last clashed, so they made the most of their 11 minutes. The Bruiserweight needed to win here to make the tournament more interesting. Bate can get a shot at Noam Dar anytime, but Butch is likely to return to the main roster after this tournament, so he would need he needs a spotlight more for his impressive work. The Big Strong Boy also showed that he might not be long in NXT anymore, that he's just too good for NXT, that he is ready for a move up to Raw or SmackDown. And then you have the final global, and then the other global. So there were three. We'll talk about the third one here. That was the triple threat match with Nathan Frazier versus Duke Hudson versus Joe Coffey. So this one came about after Hudson defeated Coffey in a one-on-one match. And this final for Group B was better and more involved than the match between Hudson and Coffey was. This was wild action, showcasing what makes Frazier so special, as he constantly pushed the pace in this match. As not to take away from the other two, Hudson delivers every time when playing to the crowd. Joe looked better in this match than he has in his entire time in NXT so far, delivering with a very new set. Joe probably should have defeated Hudson just to keep his dominant streak going, but fans got a better match out of this booking by the end. And the Gallus leader should have his best match on NXT TV next week against Butch. And then the show concludes with a tag team match, Becky Lynch and Curia versus Tiffany Stratton and Kiana James. Originally supposed to be 2-on-1, but I think we all knew Becky was going to get a tag team partner. I don't know how many people thought it was going to be Curia, but she certainly made the most sense for a tag team partner. And this was an important match, highlighting for the women in the NXT Women's Division. Valkyria got put over in a big way, getting the winning pinfall, and it would not be surprising if she was next up for a title shot. She's the most credible woman outside of Stratton to challenge for the title, and it looks like Lynch versus Stratton could be the main event at No Mercy, especially since they added an Extreme Rules stipulation to the match. This will be a major test for Stratton, as she has a limited experience in stipulation contests, and also limited experience main eventing premium live events, so this would be a good test for her. Curious to see how they book to win that match. Are they able to keep Lynch around, or are they gonna have to give the title back to Stratton? And Lynch was only so how much time does Lynch have in NXT? I think No Mercy would be a great tell. If she loses, obviously that means time is up. If she wins, she's got more time in NXT. So in conclusion, while last week was a more hype show, this week's show might have been even better top to bottom. The exciting high of Becky Lynch's win made this follow-up show feel big despite less hype for the card. The man elevated Lyra Curia as a featured challenger while setting stage for an important NXT Women's Championship rematch at No Mercy. The Global Heritage Invitational reached its final with the two best matches of the entire tournament. Butch and Joe Coffey are big-time contenders coming off their victories. The only real negative of the night was the match between Carmelo Hayes and Dominic Mysterio. Those two just do not have enough chemistry for a serious feud beyond this bout. The match did end in disqualification, but there's no reason to go back to it. It's just not a good matchup. The stage has been set for No Mercy to be a big show for NXT, and that is thanks to shows like this that continue to build the legacy of the brand and fresh top stars. And with that, that will conclude this episode of WWE Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.